navigating my
All
wallet.
right. Welcome everyone to the first night call for Applause, season 2, Best of Both Worlds. Going to be a very fun season. I hope. We are very excited to have all of you on board. Before we do get started though, and get into all the fun stuff, we do of course have some rules that we need to go over. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. So, I mean, first few rules, pretty simple. Any instances of bullying, racism, homophobic, transphobic, or any other hateful comments, just straight up will not be tolerated. It's one thing to call someone out for making a dumb move. It's another to make personal attacks outside the scope of the game. Just keep it game. Like, just don't be an asshole and everything will be just fine. We don't want to have to deal with that. It's horrible when that happens. I don't think that's going to happen with this cast. You guys all seem like really, just great people.
Okay?
And I don't think that's going to be an issue, but that is something that we do, of course, need to go ahead and address. Any hateful comments towards prod members will also be taken into account. If you want to criticize us, that's great, but anything personal, just refrain from that. Cross-tribe communication also never allowed. We recognize that many of you are friends outside of this game. However, unless told directly by prod, we ask that you refrain from any discussion regarding the game with those friends or anyone else. We don't want to see any of that happening. We also stress to please no screenshot or quote any messages. Screenshots are only going to be allowed like within your prod chat. If somebody said something and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this person said this, and you want to, comment on your prod chat, you can do that, but like keep it into your prod chat. You can quote a message that posted within the tribe chat, but just nothing directly outside of that. I think that's, so nothing directly outside of that. Next one here. The announcements chat. You guys saw we have the announcements chat. These are going to be posted regularly in a separate chat for the game. Please do not talk in there. It really just overrides all the messages that we're getting. You have to, when you're looking at the announcements chat, you have to be under the assumption that there are going to be some people that are not going to be able to see that right away. And we do not want that to be overshadowed with other stuff that's not, important information. So please leave all of that here. So any instance of cheating will be handled on a case-to-case basis. We ask that you please just refrain from doing so to allow for a much more enjoyable season for both players and production, and not following that could result in removal from the game. Again, this is all stuff that like we hate to do, but it's all stuff that we do have to bring up. So for the returnees last season, we'll know about this. Last season, we did have it where, we stress that you add prod to any one-on-one chats and or alliance chats. We are still going to implement that this season. This is really just so that we can get the fairest assessment of you and others' games. However, there are two stipulations to that. We really want to know what's going on within the game, but if there is something that you generally just do not want us to know about that is too personal and you want to just kind of keep it between the two of you, you guys do not have to record that. We do ask that all calls be recorded that are game related, just so that way we have the best idea of what's really going on in the game, who's working with who, all that kind of stuff. Also, sometimes we will use it in like promotional materials for upcoming seasons, which, we literally just did that for this season. So that's something else that likely will happen. But like I said, if there's something unrelated you'd like to record, by all means, you don't have to do that. It's not a requirement unless it is game related. Also, you only have to add Ali and I into those chats. We have been requested by the rest of prod. They do not want to be there because they all have other games that they're doing. Ali and I only have this, so you guys can add us there. Other prod members don't have to worry about it. And probably easier for you guys too, because we have a lot of people on this prod team. So just keep it to the two of us and that will be fine. All right, what's next here? Like I said, all game talk should be recorded. I already addressed that part.
It's really just like game talk and then like anything fun or whatever you want, like recorded, but personal stuff, don't worry about.
Yes. All right. So next thing here. Prod chat guests. I'm sure that's something that some of you are definitely wondering about. Some of you already asked for prod chat guests, right? Well, this season, we are only allowing you to add a maximum of 2 guests into your production chat, but these guests can only be in one production chat at a time. This really just makes it so there isn't any information that could potentially be leaked to another VL or to another player or something like that. So we really just asked, so please ask permission before adding any guests. Don't just assume that this person is in another chat. Always just ask us in your prod chat and we will try to work through that accordingly. We are going to do that after this call, obviously, because there's a lot that we have to do. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Project Guest this season.
And also
you're always.
Oh, also we only limited it to 2 because there's so many prod and after show members.
Yeah.
So we didn't want it to be too hectic.
Yeah, it can get very overwhelming. So last thing here, before we get into other stuff, you're always welcome to message prod about anything. We have an open door policy. We always put our players' mental health and safety into account above all other things. It's very important to remember when you're playing this game, it is just that, a game. We all have we all have other lives. We all have different things we're doing outside of this, and life can get rough. And so if you guys just want to vent about anything, don't hesitate to do so within your prod chat. We are here for you guys. And if there is anything, please come let us know. Even if you think it's stupid or trivial, please don't hesitate to come to us. That's all. That's exactly what we are here for. All right. So that's all the really serious stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff, Allie, which you can talk about confessionals here and what's going to happen with that.
All right. These are obviously not required, but they're very much encouraged, and there will be options if you wish to do a confessional, like lives or anything you'd like. And recorded confessionals, this is on your own time and can be done in any format you desire. We do stress if you decide to give a confessional to find a way to send it to us. And then live confessionals. This is like a recorded confessional, but on call within your prod chat, and likely will also involve a series of questions from both prod and the VL. And we will most likely always be around to do them and accommodate you when we can.
Yes.
We also very much encourage VLDRs, which will be sent directly to the VL. And please note, whenever you decide to send to the VL is no longer in our hands, and we are not held liable for any sort of consequence that we'll have within the game.
Yeah, once again, these aren't required, but we very much encourage you guys to do so. It's something that, just gives us a better assessment of your game, but also the VL will be entertained if you decide to send VLDRs and things like that. So that's something we always encourage for sure. No, that is not.
All right. Once again, these are not required, but you are more than welcome to do them whenever throughout the season, or you can just message in your prod chat with T, anything you want.
Yes. All right. So getting into immunity challenges. Most of the time, challenges will be posted directly after the previous tribal council, which of course is subject to change. We'll notify you in case that changes in any way, because there might be some days where we're really busy or we're not able to do it, and things can happen. So we'll definitely try to give you guys a heads up when that does occur. Most likely you're going to have 24 hours to complete each challenge. For some challenges, you may be given up to 48 hours for completion. They vary, but most of the time it's going to be around that length. There are 3 types of challenges for the season. There's a live, a semi-live, and a non-live. Live challenges will include both a set date and a time. This will involve everybody on call. Semi-live is just a challenge that either includes the entire tribe or will be individual. If it includes the tribe, it will be taking place based on that tribe's availability. If it is individual, it will be done at your own discretion within the time allotted. For the specific challenge, non-live will include anything that you post in your prod chat. All challenges will include various degrees of submissions, whether it be through tribal. Also, reminder, the hosts always have the final say when it comes to challenge results. If you're concerned about any results, you can always contact us. If there's something you're this doesn't make sense, we want some clarification on it, please just give us a reason for that. Please explain, what's going on, because we want to be as transparent as we possibly can. And if there is something that we did wrong, we want to, go ahead and just address it yeah, this isn't right. So please don't hesitate to tell us about that, but also a reminder that we do have the final say when it comes to decisions. If you'd like to forfeit immunity, it must be done at least 2 hours before tribal. If it is a tribal immunity, everyone in the tribe must collectively agree to give it up. And if it's individual immunity, you must also select another individual who will be giving it 2 hours before tribal. So yeah, that's everything with immunity challenge. Also, heads up, your immunity challenge for this round will not be posted tonight. That will be posted tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. With that said, Ali, you want to talk about tribals?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Tribals will
We're almost done, by the way, I promise.
Yeah, it won't be much longer. Tribals will occur most likely the night after immunity challenge results are announced and will always be on call. The time will be determined by the majority of the tribe and or cast most convenient availability. And when a tribal takes place, it will be preceded by a series of questions, and this is to notify prod about your game experience and or to make for a more eventful tribal. And your vote is due whenever the tribal starts. You will then have until whatever time specified to change your vote. Failure to vote will result in either a self-vote or a randomized vote, neither of which will be announced.
Levi, come look at this. What? Come look at this, not the dog.
If you can't make it, please notify us in advance and we will ask you to pre-vote. And tribal attendance isn't mandatory, but highly encouraged. And tribals will obviously be recorded and will be sent to both the VL and unlisted on our YouTube channel, where they will eventually be public once the season is over,
Yes.
as well as to fellow tribes left in the game. And a post will be made most times directly after the vote, and that will also then give an official vote count of the vote that will be public. Of course, the knowledge of who voted who will not be given out until after the season.
Yeah, so in regards to eliminations, so you get eliminated, it sucks, but if you get eliminated before the jury segment of the game begins, don't worry, you will still be able to keep up with all your amazing friends you made with the audience of the arena at the concert this season, because you will be added to the VL and will be able to watch the game and interact with everyone who has already been watching and rooting for you throughout the season. But we do ask to please not talk about the game with anyone still currently in. It's very unfair, and when discovered, it is going to lead to further consequences. Again, I don't think that's going to be something that happens, but just please do not talk to anybody after you get eliminated, because it's just not information that they should know. So if you get eliminated and become a jury member, as we like to call it, Hannah's stage crew, per the rules of Survivor, you will be then put in a jury chat where you will then be able to discuss the game with your fellow jurors. And then after the season concludes, all jurors and finalists will be added to the VL. The whole cast will be added to the alumni chat to vent about any tea or postseason drama left to iron out for everyone's enjoyment. I'm sure that's something that you guys are always excited to do, and so that will be happening this season. With that said, let's talk about idols and advantages.
All right. Immunity idols will be found in an idol hunt that can be done at once every calendar day in your host chat. In each tribe, there will be only one idol hidden within each tribe. And in each tribe, those searches also may contain a disadvantage depending on the path you choose. Once the specific idol associated with a tribe has been played, it will then be rehidden and will no longer be available. However, once we have merged, there will be only one idol. This idol will not be rehidden, so use it wisely if you find it. And idols can be played up until and including the final 5 tribal. Other advantages will be given out discreetly at various times,
Yes.
and each non-idol disadvantage will have its own set of rules attached to it. It will then be up to the holder of said advantage to disclose with other players in the game. If you plan on playing an idol and advantage, you are required to notify us in your prod chat before tribal council has begun. And for idols, you do not have the option to change up who you'll be playing it on.
You do have the option.
Yeah, you do have the option to change up who you will be playing it on, or you can also decide to withhold this decision and not play it during said tribal. Either way, you must let us know before tribal if you will be using it, as well as a brief idea of who you may be playing it on, and this way we are fully prepared in the event you decide to play it.
Yeah,
Also,
I just want to reiterate, we're not rehiding any idols this season. So like once they're found, they're found. That's it.
yeah, and also idol searches won't be starting until tomorrow at midnight Eastern.
Yeah, they're going to start then, just so you guys have the time to kind of just mingle, get to know each other. Once we post the challenge, idols will also be open then. And yeah, so look forward to that.
All right. And then Kevin's going to talk about the strikes.
All right, so this is very much going to be a last resort for us, and it's going to break our hearts to have to implement it because we love you all so much. But just for precaution, we do have to bring up some warnings in the event. Our wonderful security guard guarding the blonde superstar herself will have to get involved. We don't want that to happen, but you know, it just might. So strikes are going to be taken into account if and when a couple things occur. 1, if a player does not complete a challenge in time without messaging production. 2, if a player fails to vote by the start of the tribal and or doesn't show up to tribal without notifying prod. 3, has shown to display instances of inappropriate conduct that impedes the game and also violates our prior rules. We are well aware that you all have lives outside of this game, and sometimes things may come up unexpectedly, but courtesy is key, and we hope you understand that. If you have any technical issues as well, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we will proudly deduct the strike. If you reach 3 strikes, unfortunately, you will be medevaced from the game. And if this happens during the jury phase, you will still be on the jury as long as nothing happens that violates our code of conduct. Obviously, this is all like, you know, situational. There are different things that can occur, but that is how it will be implemented. Other than that, let the games begin. Good luck. We're excited to see what you have to bring to the table and unleash your inner pop sensation. And we hope you guys have a wonderful season. Tanner, do you have a question? Is that why you're raising your hand?
Yeah, so on the reaching out, like if anyone has things impacting them, they can just like reach out.
Oh yeah, of course. You can always always feel free to just, you know, message us about always feel free to just message us about whatever is on your mind. You know, we're always here for that. So yeah, that's something that we're always here for. So, all right. So those are all of the rules, but we're not quite done
I
yet.
have a question.
Oh, go
Can
ahead.
you post the rules into the prod chat? Because
I was actually just about to do that.
Yeah.
okay, thank you, because that was too much and my brain's like,
Yeah, the rules will be posted
Okay.
after this. But the only other thing left to do is talk about what's going on this season, because you guys saw the title Best of Both Worlds. You know it's Hannah Montana themed, but that's not the only reason this game is called Best of Both Worlds. There's a lot more going on there, and all I can really say is that there are multiple worlds within this game and multiple obstacles that you will have to avoid in order to get to those VIP seats that you so badly want to get to within this game. Some of those obstacles you may come encounter with very soon. Other than that, if there are no other questions, we will go ahead and end the Zoom.
Oh, not yet. We have tribes.
Oh, yes. After this, you will be put into your tribe chats. After this,
We should probably tell them their tribes first.
I mean, you can just put them in the tribes. But if you want to.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. I'll do one tribe, then you do the next.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the Rico Surf Shop tribe is going to be Cody, Casey, Zach, Lauren, Sam, Pam, and Divi.
All right. So that's the Rico Surf Shop tribe. Over onto the Malibu tribe, we have Chloe, Henry, Caitlin, Wesley, Austin, Mike, and Victoria.
Okay. And then the Seaview tribe, we have Jesse, Aaliyah, Josh, Danny, Tanner, Jacob, and Brian.
Yes. So those are your tribes for the season. You will be placed into those chats momentarily. We do ask that after this ends to please leave the Zoom, since you guys cannot cross-tribe communicate, obviously. But other than that, that is all. If there are no other questions, have a good night and have a great season.
Okay.
I'm so hyped for this.